The new year inspires personal change, but what about your home? Many of us are looking to renovate, but don't know where to start.
Yeah, with some of the lowest rates in town, as well as flexible loan programs, the Equitable Bank may have solutions for your resolutions. And here with us today is Rachel Schwab. She is the insider with knowledge on how to get started. And I love this idea of having New Year's resolutions for your home.
Right, we all have things, lose weight, get in shape, whatever. What about your house? It's a big investment and you spend a lot of time there.
Absolutely. And one of these tips that I read about, it was like a book called like The Average Family's Guide to Financial Freedom or something. The number one thing it said is invest in your home, even if it's decorating or renovating, because if you're comfortable there and you can spend a lot of time there, it's an important thing to take care of. So let's talk about your first tip is choose a room maybe or one part of your house to really focus on.
Right, so many times we all look across the whole house and you go, oh, this whole floor needs to be redone.
Yeah.
Well, that's overwhelming. To do the kitchen, the bathroom, the family room, the dining room. So pick maybe the room that's your favorite room you spend the most time in. Or maybe it's the room that's the worst and it needs the most help. Pick that and focus on that. It'll be a less daunting for you.
So what's the one that's going to get me the most return on my investment? What room? Because you hear sometimes it's a kitchen or a bathroom, but even if you just want to invest a little bit of money, it's a lot for those rooms.
Well, it is a lot, and it just depends on what your scale is. Are you looking for a renovation or a full remodel, or is it just redecorating and refreshing? A coat of paint and some new accessories make a huge difference. But does your kitchen, is it, harvest gold and need a whole new redecoration? That's something you have to think about because there's different costs involved.
Yeah, and you say one of the things it's a great place to start is to revamp your front door or your entry, and that's the first thing people see.
Yeah, and I want to know, is it possible for me to have a red door if I haven't paid off my house yet?
Yes, you can. You can have whatever color door you want.
Well, he was telling me earlier that it's kind of a sign, or maybe it was Katie, I can't remember,
but it was Katie,
somebody, or a producer, that you can't have a red door unless you paid off your mortgage.
You can have whatever color door you want. No, absolutely. If you want a red door, go for it. And it looks good, go for a red door. Absolutely, though. Look at your front entry because that's the first impression that people get. And we've talked on the show before about the return on replacing your front door. If it's worn or doesn't need paint, new hardware, and then once it warms up, I don't know, in August, maybe put some fresh flowers, some potted plants, things like that out there. So just
curb appeal is
really important.
I think that's a great tip. You also say buy or do less, but make sure it's better quality.
Yes, absolutely. If you want to do something in your kitchen, for example. Not everyone needs granite and Viking ranges and things like that. But
I do.
Me too.
I love those things. But, pick out something that you really like and don't settle. If so often people go, well, I really want to do this. I can't afford it. I'll just go with that instead. I really want this, but I'll go with that instead. And then 3 years later.
Yeah, you're not going to be happy.
You're not happy and you're redoing it.
Right.
That costs you way more money.
Yeah.
Just wait a little bit longer, save up that extra money that you need, and then do it right and get the things that you love. It's not necessarily you have to have top of the line everything, but make sure it's something you really love.
So what if there's no way of saving my house? What if I've done everything I can? I've got the granite, and I'm just still not happy there.
Then you should call an Equitable Bank loan officer and get pre-approved for a new house. Because you know what? Maybe it's time to move. Maybe you've outgrown your house or your neighborhood. It just doesn't work for you anymore. But it'll be a great house for somebody else. So call the bank and let us help you get pre-approved, and we'll send you to a realtor and you guys can get your house on the market.
And what about rates?
Oh my goodness, you guys, rates are so low. They just dropped again about a week ago. They are unbelievably low. So if you're not going to move, at least find out what your mortgage rate is right now, because if it is higher than 3.5, you need to call the Equitable Bank.
And it's okay to do that if maybe a couple of years ago you did it like 3 times in a row.
That was
yes, you can. We will definitely take a look at what your rate is and make sure it makes financial sense for you. We'll tell you if you probably shouldn't, but we want to make sure that, I talked to someone yesterday that has a mortgage rate at 5.3. Oh my goodness!
Oh.
You can drop a couple of points. That's a huge savings.
You can have this huge savings, but you can also potentially then have some money to do some of these projects around the house. Redo the entryway, get your red door.
Yeah, if you're saving a couple $100s a month on your mortgage, well, there's your money for your red door, your granite counters. Absolutely.
That's great. I love it. Great information. You got to call about rates, because if you're anything over, what did you say? 3.5. Anything over 3.5, you need to call the Equitable Bank. And here's how you do that. You give a phone number, you give a call to 414-777-4411. The great people at the Equitable Bank would be happy to help you. You can also visit them online, theequitablebank.com. Always great to see you. You talk about the coolest stuff that applies to everybody. So thank you.
It's always fun. Thanks for having me.
Love having you here.